1 year tonight since a 20-year-old man drowned at the Lake of the Ozarks in Highway Patrol custody. Since Brandon Ellingson's death, ABC 17 News has continued to dig deeper and ask questions about how this could happen. Ellingson was pulled over by a trooper on suspicion of boating while drinking. ABC 17 News found the trooper did not follow several different protocols leading up to Ellingson falling overboard. ABC 17's Heather Horgan is now checking back in with lawmakers and Highway Patrol to see if we are any safer this summer at the lake.
It has been a whirlwind of a year for the Ellingson family after learning their son drowned here 1 year ago at the Lake of the Ozarks. And this past year, I learned the trooper was not trained properly to be on the water. Now, allegedly, Marine Operations training and Highway Patrol has now been changed. I have proof of those changes, but how do we know that they're actually happening and that we're going to be safer on the water this summer?
At the current time, what we're looking at is more of just sort of a trust and verify. They've told us that they're going to do a whole bunch more training. We've seen evidence of more training.
Evidence of training I have here with these hundreds of pages of curriculum I got through an open records request. But what I found was a lot of the Marine Operations training in here was written years ago. So why was it not followed? Highway Patrol would not answer my question, so I turned to state representatives who tell me they will be holding Highway Patrol accountable. One of those being Representative Rocky Miller. I met with him 5 months ago about the startling fact I found that some Water Patrol troopers weren't trained properly.
Were they safe before May 31st?
I think that they were lacking in training. Therefore, the public safety was at risk during that time.
Fast forward to now. Are people safe this summer compared to last summer?
I think the Highway Patrol, Water Patrol is doing as much as they can to make everybody safe this year as possible.
In this stack of papers, I did find the new Marine Operations final swim test. It's a 100-meter swim with a uniform on, pulling a brick out of the water and treading water for 12 minutes. The last two with your hands out of the water. According to the American Red Cross, waterfront lifeguards have to pass a swim of 550 yards. So I took this Marine Operations test to the pool lifeguards at Camden Aquatic Center.
So let's start with the swim.
This lifeguard was able to pass the test. Granted, though, she did not have a uniform on, which would make the swim more challenging. But still, not as challenging as retired water patrolmen were once used to. Before the merger in 2011, when Marine Operations was separate from Highway Patrol, I am told this was the final swim test. A half-mile swim in uniform, treading for 30 minutes, and before the test had 18 weeks of swimming to prepare versus now just 4 weeks.
I would be concerned that they are not kept in the water a lot.
Who is holding them accountable?
The Highway Department committee that was chaired by Representative Franklin, we're going to meet with them again and verify everything that's going on.
Representative Diane Franklin says they will be checking in with Highway Patrol next month and is very optimistic about the changes being made.
I think what people will find is that the Water Patrol Division of the Highway Patrol is very much prepared to take on the summer waters.
Which is a stark difference from what she was feeling just 5 months ago when I interviewed her after the hearings with Highway Patrol and the training director, Vince Rice.
What happened to the lady? They've all been tested. They passed a test on that.
I cannot answer that 100% truth because I do not know if all of them took that swim test during their training.
So that's where, we kind of stopped this, and I said, I want to just hear about the water training. And there, we found out that they couldn't talk about that. So why don't you know the answer to this question?
I could find those records. I don't know what that...
Why can't you answer this question?
I can, but that I don't know if all those answers. I would have to look at the training records to see if there was...
Well, how could they be out on the water if they haven't completed your test? I mean, am I asking a question that there's no answer to?
Today, Franklin tells me we have that answer.
And do you feel like they're being trained properly now?
Yes, they are being trained properly.
But again, it was training that, according to documents I have, should have been happening years ago.
Not only are we going to meet with them once, we're going to meet with them again and again and again until we're sure that they're doing what's needed to be to make it safe here on Lake of the Ozarks.
I've reached out to Highway Patrol several times for this story. They would not comment. All they would say is that they are reviewing and working on their marine operations training. I even asked just to get video of them here on the lake doing that training, but my request was declined. Reporting at the Lake of the Ozarks, Heather Horgan, ABC 17 News.
The federal investigation into Ellingson's drowning and the Highway Patrol is underway. Sources say depositions will begin tomorrow.